Greetings, Planeswalkers, and welcome to the Arena. I'm your host, Mint Alpha Lotus, here for another premier draft of Edge of Eternities. Edge of Eternities is coming to a absolutely barreling end. We've only got about a week or so left, I think 9 days. And I mean, you're going to start seeing the next set in pre-release events now in local game stores. And also other streamers are going to be doing the Through the Omen Paths version, the Arena version of what is in paper Spider-Man. But we still have, another week. This channel is not big enough, obviously, to have Wizards of the Coast sponsorship, but maybe one day. We will see. Very excited about, the possibility of that in maybe a year or so. But yeah, we're just, the whole point of this channel is just to do more drafting, to give a real reason to do some drafting and spend, maybe the next year leveling up, trying to get a little better, examining sets, examining the history of Magic, talking about the history of Magic and where it's going. Just, all stuff that I absolutely love to do in my personal life and I want to share with you. All right, so our last draft did not go very well. We had we did 2 drafts on last Wednesday, and we only got 2 wins in each of them. But our win rate for this set has been pretty decent overall. I think we're at about 56%, something like that. Certainly better than average. And we've only done 12 drafts, I think, of Edge of Eternities. But that's still more than we've done in a lot of other sets. So, that's cool. Take it. It's like definitely doing a channel has given me more of a reason to do more drafting, which is the whole point of it. All right, so without any further ado, let's get started on this draft. And as I said, only about a week left, so we've probably only got 4 drafts left in Edge of Eternities. And I think we are going to see some of the interest in it petering off as the set is starting to phase out a little bit. If you like what I do, please consider liking, subscribing. We've got, history of Magic on the YouTube channel, a bunch of different videos about that, different stuff from the early days. I started playing around Revised and gave it up for many years and have kind of come back into Magic again very recently, in about the last year or so. And before that, it was, probably about a year and a half before that, I was playing quite consistently. Yeah, with winter coming up here in Canada, definitely a reason to play more card games inside. Always one person. There's always one person. There we go. All right, what do we get in our first pack? A Rust Harvester. That's okay. It's not exactly a bomb or anything, but like I would gladly take a Rust Harvester as a first pick. Godless Shrine, also good. Grav Kill, Decode Transmissions, Dockworker Drone. Memorial Team Leader can be okay. There's a Bombard, a Cav Landseeker set. This is a pretty decent pack. I would say this is a good pack in general. I'm going to take the Rust Harvester, though. And maybe we end up in some sort of, like, is it aggro deck? Or maybe even something like in black-red. There are a couple of decent red cards here. Honor, Siege Ship Impact. A lot of great stuff here. But yeah, let's take the Rust Harvester and see where we go from there. Okay, following up with an Uthro Scan Ship, a Servandum, also fantastic. Hull Carver is good. The Galeblade, there's nothing else really here in red that I'm that excited about. I don't know if I maybe just take the best card here and go with it. In my mind, that's probably the Servandum, I'm going to guess. And we have seen a bit of good white and black, which means, we might get a little bit of that. It's a bit awkward because, like, going from a red to then a double color card in Orzhov could be a little challenging. But, we'll see. We could always potentially either splash red or splash white. Let's go with that. Watery Grave up next. Okay. Galvanizing Saw Ship's good. Focus Fire's okay. Pulsar Squadron Ace probably. Wow, there's a Galactic Wayfarer here too, but, do I want to stay open for a third color? I think, like, the upside of Pulsar Squadron Ace is a lot higher than a Galvanizing Saw Ship in red, so I'm going to take the Ace. And yeah, we'll see if we can stay open and maybe either splash red Well, I guess we probably won't splash white. Splashing black for Servandum's kind of tough. I mean, we could even do like a Boros thing here potentially. But I don't know. I feel like Pulsar Squadron Ace is probably the pick here. Okay, now a Stomping Ground. Exosuit Savior is good. Again, probably one of the better things in the pack. The Eulogist would be good if we wanted to move into green. And then, I mean, there's a Blooming Stinger and a Thawbringer here for green, which is kind of telling. Nothing really in black, though, which is a little bit worrisome. I don't know. I might just stay open here because, like, we did see a lot of good green cards going around. I am worried that there's no black, and Exosuit Savior is probably not good enough to really lock myself into white, and there's nothing in red here either. So, I don't know. Let's take the Eulogist. Broodguard Elite now. A Tractor Beam in blue is fantastic. It's also Depressurized, which is good. A Night Luminary. So, yeah, I mean, maybe white is open, but it's a little hard to tell. I think here we'll just take the Depressurize as probably the best card in the pack. Command Bridge would be good since I'm playing a lot of different stuff. But, yeah, I mean, there's a couple of green cards here, too. Tractor Beam, I think, is the best card, but I really don't want to pick a fourth color. That just seems nuts. Okay, Siege Ship Brood Tender is good. A Dockworker Drone is fantastic. I don't know. I mean, maybe like the Brood Tender could be good. And again, like it does feel like there is a lot of green going around still, whereas not necessarily that much of everything else. So let's try that. If we could pick up some lander tokens, then, you know, green is making it a lot easier to splash for white. And like I can't imagine somebody being in Golgari with like passing that. A Perigee Beckoner now probably a little better than taking a Starfighter Pilot, even though Starfighter Pilot is a good card. I really do like Starfighter Pilot. The Sacred Foundry could be okay to splash like white and black, but I mean they're both weird splash colors. I'm just going to go for the Beckoner. Cosmogoyf, even if we are in Golgari, I really don't find a Cosmogoyf to be playable at all. I don't even know that it's playable in Standard. Just a weird card. Okay, Bombard Wield. That's kind of interesting. Thawbringer is here. There's an Exosuit Savior. Let's maybe grab up the Thawbringer here. That's a fantastic card. There's an Honor. Decode Transmissions. I feel like... let's take the Decode. We could definitely use some card draw here, I feel like. And, okay, Starfighter Pilot Wield. That's awesome. The Chrome Butt Doggo, I think, is going to be next. I'm not a fan of Grab Blade Heavy at all. And 2-drops, you know, you really need a lot of good 2-drops in this format. Dark Endurance might be something I play, probably not. Probably not going to play this Rust Harvester now. We will have to see about like these white cards. If we can get something decent in green, then for sure. Otherwise, like, you know, I'm probably not going to splash a Starfighter Pilot. Otherwise, we'll just play Servandum. Okay, Sky Warden. All right, vote out here. Oh, wow, a Biomechan Engineer. That would have been fantastic. Hull Carver, Zookeeper Mechan, the Harrier. A lot of good stuff in this pack. A lot of really good stuff. The Expansionist is here. Yeah, this is tough call, but maybe the vote out. I mean, I feel like whatever we do, we're probably going to be in black. I just really haven't decided on green or white yet. And that's going to be a tough call. Like, green is not fantastic here. Biomechan Engineer would be nuts if I could have taken that. Maybe I should have leaned a little bit more into blue, but we'll take the vote out. Okay, Zoo Ifit. Interesting. Faller's Faithful as well. Stormcaller can be okay. Again, there's some decent green here, but I think I'm going to take the zoo. And again, like with something like if we do end up in Golgari, zoo is great. Faller's Faithful, I think, probably a better card in general, but I'm going to take the rare. Watery Grave again. Wow, we definitely could have been in a Dimir deck here, I feel like. Emergency Eject, probably. Auxiliary Boosters could be good as a top-end card, too. How much interaction do we have? That's not interaction. We got Depressurize. I think, yeah. And there's not much in black here, so yeah, let's go with that. Emergency Exit. Or Emergency Eject. Let's grab that up. So yeah, I mean, it is starting to feel more like it's going to be a Orzhov deck because like a lot of the green we're seeing is not what I would call fantastic. The Meltstrider's gear is not good. Drix Fatemaker is okay. Broodguard Elite is okay. I would like to get some sort of spacecraft too, but see if we get like a Wormwall Sweeper or something. There's another Pulsar Squadron Ace here. I'm going to cut these green for now. But yeah, another Pulsar Squadron Ace could be nice. There's a Timeline color. Well, I'm going to grab that. I like playing with the Timeline color, especially in these crazy aggressive decks. And I feel like this is going to be kind of a white-black beatdown deck here. Hilderblade, Dual Sun Technique is not something I love that much, so maybe the Hilderblade. As a 1-drop, because like right now we don't have a 1-drop. Not a fan of Scrounge for Eternity. Literally nothing else I want to play here, so I think I might just rare draft the weapons manufacturing. How's everybody doing out in Chatland today? It's a beautiful Monday here. Definitely starting to feel fall setting in a little bit though. Okay, the Lightblade, something that we can play for sure. Nice little trick. Breacher, not thrilled to play that, but well, you know, we could use a 4-drop, so we'll add that. There's another Decode Transmissions here now. Might not play 2 of them, but I'll take it anyway. Probably not really a nutrient block deck, but it's probably the most suited thing here for us. None of this is playable. Looks like nobody was really in blue necessarily. Okay, Singularity Rupture is not something we're going to play. There is a Tragic Trajectory here, which is exciting. I think I will grab that up. And Dawnstrike Vanguard is not something I'm a fan of, especially with no spacecraft at all. And again, like in a pretty beat-downish deck, don't really feel like that's that useful. I mean, a Zealous Display might be okay, but I think here I'm going to take the Tragic Trajectory. Okay, there's a Voidborn, which is, I don't know if that's like fantastic for this deck. There is a Dockworker Drone, though. That could be something that I could see playing. Pinnacle Killship would be good too if we can get to 7 mana, but for now, I think I'd rather have the lower end stuff. Keep my curve nice and low. Right now we're at 2.7. Fairly even on creatures. And yeah, I think the drone is probably better than the Voidborn in our deck. M-Series Escort, okay. Weftblade Enhancer. Oh wow, there's a Halia here. That's kind of cool. But again, not really something I feel like we can play. I think I might take the 4-drop over the Weftblade Enhancer. The Swarm color is probably a little bit better in like a Rakdos deck, but I don't know. The Weftblade Enhancer could be good too, but it is a little hefty to cast. Let's try that. Okay, reroute systems. Not something that I'm like super thrilled about. A Brightspear Zealot. Again, not, you know, super thrilled. Another vote out, probably. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Yeah, there's nothing here, like, really speaking to me. Maybe the Starport Security is 1-drop. Just to get, you know, potentially turn 1 play out. Might be good. Another Brightspear Zealot. A Grav Kill could be good. I think that's better for us than a Focus Fire. Now we can get the boosters. Awesome. Wish we'd gotten that, the Night Luminary, or the Night... No, we didn't see a Night Captain. We only saw a Night Luminary. But yeah, the Auxiliary Boosters is definitely what we want here. And here, nothing really. I mean, Mono Sentry's kind of anathema. Like, maybe another Light Blade. We're going to have to start cutting stuff at this point anyway. So I think we'll probably play one of those. There's nothing really here that we want. Yeah, again, like, not really going to play another Decode Transmissions. Just going to take the uncommon for Vault. Okay, so Weftblade Enhancer did wheel. That's all right. Something we can consider playing. You know, again, we've got 3 Dark Endurances now. And a pull through the Weft. So, not too bad of a little deck. Again, we want to be super aggressive and try to, like, burn our opponents out really quickly here. We'll see if that works out for us. We do need to cut 1 card, and it might be the Weftblade Enhancer. In fact, I wish we could have got a Spacecraft here. I feel like that would have been advantageous. Let's see. So we've got this. Oops. Grab kill. Eject. Depressurize. Trajectory. So 6 removal. And then we've got stuff like the Light Blade. 13 creatures. Yeah, I feel like to cut something might even be better just to try to cut a non-creature here. Auxiliary Boosters is technically a creature, which is okay. And our curve is 3.0, so do we even want to cut like a land, maybe? I think that might even make the most sense here. I think 16 lands is totally playable. I mean, it is a little bit awkward as we do have a few double black cards to play out. We've got a little bit more black than white. I don't know. I feel like this is probably the deck we want to play. Seems like an okay curve. I mean, it would have probably been nice to have another 3-drop creature here. Auxiliary Boosters is technically a 5-drop. The Weftblade Enhancer we can always potentially play on 3 just to get some value off of that. Not a fan of Lux Knight Breacher, but we'll see if we can go wide. It might be all right. You know, it's our deck. This is what we're going to play. Yeah, okay, so let's give this a try. I mean, I think that like it's quite aggressive, and if we can be on the play and draw into some decent hands, which, you know, admittedly has been kind of the challenge of Edge of Eternities, getting stuff in hand can be a little challenging. I've definitely drawn like quite a few hands that like are just not good, and I've beaten a lot of opponents who drew hands that were not good. This is okay, I think. We've got a 2-drop. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a 2-3 on turn 2. We are on the play. I would really, really like to draw another swamp. We can play Timeline Color on turn 1. Let's try this. All right, well, if opponent didn't know we were trying to be aggressive, then he probably knows now. Okay, opponent's on blue. Nothing to play. Let's get out the Squadron Ace. Yeah, missed some swamps, unfortunately. That's okay. Stinger? Okay, that's a great play. Here I just want to warp the Beckoner. That way if he blocks, then you know, we'll come back, and worst case we get in for 4. Okay. Nope. I was kind of surprised that he was even considering that. Terrain generator. Interesting. Don't think I've ever seen anybody play that in draft. Okay. Let's get in with the color. All right. Still got a couple of vote outs in hand, which is nice. It's a minion bracelet. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Mechanozoa. Tap down. Yep. All right. Cool. Play our trick. And opponent's probably going to play that Mechanozoa this turn. Tap down my Squadron Ace, but we're going to vote that out. Yep. Just continue to beat down here. Absolutely. Opponent's got 3 cards in hand. We've got 1. Just want to continue to pressure here. see what he plays next. We can always play the Beckoner, potentially. Just keep playing to the board. Okay, Predator. It's a good play. I am going to burn that down as well. And get in for 5. Canazo. Nice. Okay. Equips for 3. Goodness. Well, that's quite awkward. That might even be what he needs to kind of stabilize here. I was really hoping to get in for a couple of points to be able to like cast something out this turn would have been nice. Okay, I might. That's pretty good. Resolve to wipe my ace, yep. Okay, a Broodguard Elite. And that is that. So I'm going to put that on the Might. Okay, so, I mean, as long as opponent doesn't draw some sort of removal or some sort of reach, then I think we win. And he's just top decking, so we'll see what happens here. This bad feeling. Okay, so he's got some life. Yep. But he still does have to kind of be careful here. Doesn't that just lose? Oh man, he's gonna actually activate that? Yeah. Wow. That's so hokey. Oh lord. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess we have to... Oh, no, we can't block it, can we? Can't block it with more than one thing, so alright. Yeah, that is really hokey. But there you go. That's Edge of Eternities, unfortunately. I've actually never seen anybody be able to pull off that Dominion bracelet before. It's kind of hilarious. Yeah, I mean, we missed that one land. Drawing into cards, we missed a land, which then meant that we just could not keep that pressure up. And that allowed him to stabilize and then kind of play this. So, I don't really know what's going on over there, but something awkward. There we go, finally. Yeah. Okay, so I mean, this is over. That's really unfortunate. I feel like we had this game, and all we really needed was one more land. And again, just a swamp. Like, just too many plains. We needed one additional swamp. Yeah. I can't believe we were beat by Dominion Bracelet. That's absolutely shocking. What a terrible card. But there you go. That's how it goes. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah. The sort of stuff that I feel like the sort of stuff I've seen in Edge of Eternities, man, it blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. Like, people with crazy perfect draws, people with stuff like literally one way out. I mean, I played one game a couple of weeks ago where there was one card. Opponent had one card in hand, and there was only one card in Edge of Eternities that could win him the game, not lose. And it was a card that nobody, like, it was Blade of the Swarm, which is not something that anybody ever drafts highly, and that's what he had, and it won him. I lost the game, even though it was a guaranteed win on my part. One card that was, yeah, just so awkward. Oh well. Edge of Eternities has been an absolutely bizarre set. And like, I feel like there's just, you know, no predicting a lot of what's going on. Like, often in these drafts, you can kind of go, what do I lose to? I would never have dreamed that one card in his hand would be Blade of the Swarm. Two land kind of stinks, but we'll play it. I mean, we can play the timeline color, I guess. Opponent is on the play, unfortunately, this time. Yeah, that was just really awkward. I mean, I kind of want to mulligan this hand. Like, with only two land, it is really a little bit scary. But, I mean, if we draw a third land, we can play the Savior. We can play a Decode Transmissions. So it's all dependent on if we are able to draw land or not. That's not a land. And hopefully we draw a swamp. Caller Zealots, nice. Okay, so yeah, that's a swamp. He's got something for the color, I guess. If he wants to remove the color, we're okay with that. Totally okay with that. And, play that back again. I'm gonna depressurize this. Evangel? Yep, alright. I think we just keep playing the color. See if he wants to trade. Nope. Okay. Skitter Maw. That's pretty nice. Yeah, here I think I want to play... the boosters. And I think then I'm probably actually just going to hold up even. Yeah, I mean, my life total is a bit low. I feel like holding up here is probably a strong play. Delicacy. Wow, to kill the color. Okay. And then get in with the Skitter Maul. Alright. Do this. And then I'm going to tap this. Does he have a counter? Yeah, I mean, I think Beckoner is okay. Cool. Absolutely going to hold up here. Wow. Okay. Good play. Yep. Get him too. We are dangerously low in life. So we do have to be careful. Again, this is really awkward. We can warp the Beckoner. I mean, he'll get in for another 2. Is the trouble. Yeah, I mean, we've absolutely got to play something to the board. I think it's got to be the Breacher. So that at least, like, he cannot get in for another 2 damage. We are getting way too low in life. So, yeah, we'll, I guess, no attacks. Yep, Canozoa is a good play. Tap down the Breacher. Absolutely have to block that way. Yeah. Once again, just a lot of awkwardness here. don't really... I mean, we've just got to stabilize. That's, I think, the only hope that we have here. Pass turn. I really don't want to play that timeline color in. Removal. Cryo Shatter or something. See what opponent wants to do here. Okay. Attacking. I guess we will just block with the Savior. I mean, I feel like he's got 6 mana up. He's got to have some sort of removal. Because why? Like, why? I'm going to warp this. Yep. Okay. There's all the land. Excellent. My favorite. And I can't attack because he can kill me with the Dubious Delicacy. So that's that. Unfortunately. Yep, awkward. But here we have it. And yeah, he's got some removal for my robot. Oh, he doesn't. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess we may as well. Hey, thanks very much for the sub. Appreciate it. We'll try this. And then opponent has a removal now. Scan ship, yeah. Okay. Relic. Oh, wow. Okay, so opponent's going off this turn. Gonna station that. Okay. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We were 1 away from killing him. Is that... That's brutal. Absolutely brutal. I've gotta try to get something with this decode transmissions. I have to try to draw into some sort of removal. It's like my only option here, I think. Yeah, let's get rid of that. And we'll play the color. And we may as well attack him. Whew. This is quite tight. I mean, he can tap down my Beckoner with the Relic, but he's going to need to at least address a couple of threats. But he does have 5 cards in hand, so... And he has access to 7 mana. So he's not in what I would call a bad spot. Yeah, and he can draw another card here. And now he has 5 mana. Does have to be careful of the timeline color as well. The double color. Shieldmate, all right. Okay. Does he have a counter spell for this? Nope. Skin of my teeth. Absolute skin of my teeth. Wow. That was crazy. Yeah, like I really didn't feel like playing Decode Transmissions was right there, but we were going to get ground out if we did not draw some sort of removal. So it felt like, you know, kind of the only option there. Even though we had to go down to 2, I mean, those Dubious Delicacies are such a good removal card. I mean, they're not only are they like one of the best removal in the format, they're just one of the best win rate cards. So whenever you do see those, it does tend to get a little bit scary. But, you know, that was definitely awkward. And yeah, we were on the draw there and managed to pull out a win, so that's okay. I mean, opponent did dirtle a little bit. I feel like stationing that ship was not necessarily a great move, but, you know, whatever. Again, our deck's not what I would call fantastic. This I don't even think is playable. I think I've got to mulligan this. I can't hope to play something on turn 4. Hope to draw into something. I mean, it stinks. I do have good mana here, but I think I've got to mulligan that. This is, like, literally worse. This is, good lord. Way worse. Mulliganing again. So he can go and, the Weftblade Enhancer can go. Alright. Edge of Eternities experience. Here we go. Mulliganing twice and hoping to win with an aggressive deck. This is going to be hilarious. And we're going to draw land out of a double mulligan. That's... Okay. Chat, what do you think? What are the odds of winning this one? What do you think? Remnant Elemental. That's going to kind of shut us down a little bit, I feel like. Another land? Another land? There's only 16 land in the deck, so... That's quite awkward. The Remnant Elemental also has reach, so it blocks our swarm color. That has effectively, I think that thing has effectively shut us down. Many turns. Okay, well, never mind. I guess he's going to get in for 2 and then play something. Or play nothing. May as well get in. Alright. Crasher is a good play. Okay. I mean, he's gonna blow us out for sure. I feel like he's got something. So, yeah, maybe not. Let's just no block that. Okay, that's awesome. This is definitely going to be troublesome. Boosters. No attacks. Yeah. That's I think that's pretty much game, isn't it? The Might Form Harmonizer. Man, that's amazing. Okay, so we need to try to kill this thing, and then I guess we can also block that and take what, 4, 8. Okay. Rad. Oh, he's got something to totally close up, so that's over on turn 5. Yeah. Yeah, hard to beat a Might Form Harmonizer with our deck. That's a just brutal card. Yeah, it's too bad. Like, we were doing quite well at the beginning of Edge of Eternities, and like really good win rates, and it's just been like the last week has been absolutely brutal. I don't know what is going on, but we are just getting blown out. It's been hard to draft any decent decks. Like, we haven't seen any great cards, and then just terrible draws. This is another, like, I can't play this. So I got to mulligan this. I've taken more mulligans in Edge of Eternities than I ever have in any other set. And there's just, you know, a brutal lack of fixing. Yeah, I mean, this is useless. This hand is absolutely useless. Even if I draw into a swamp, the only thing I can play is that Pulsar Squadron Ace. And this is pretty much just as bad. But at least stuff is playable, I guess. I don't know. It's been really friggin' depressing, like just having to take mulligan after mulligan after mulligan. At least we don't have to warp this time. Escort? Alright. Servandum. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, we need to draw more land anyway. Absolutely have to get that color. Wow. Is he gonna do that to wipe one creature out? That comes back anyway? That's awkward. Okay. Well, let's do this. Shieldmate. Alright. It's a decent play. My opponent's kind of stuck on not enough land here, that's for sure. Here I think we just play the color. Or do we want to play... Oh, do we want to attack the Squadron Ace? And decode transmissions? Nah, that's probably pretty greedy. We're okay to do that next turn anyway, I think. Yeah, let's try to do this. And just get some more stuff on the board. Operative? Alright. Plasma Bolt. Cool. That's a good draw. Here I do think I'm gonna play this. And then attack all. No, I'm not gonna do that. All right. Cool. Got a grab kill now. And a dog. Self-craft mech. Nice. That is a great little grab kill target. Here, I should probably play the Hilderblade, but I just want to play as much to the board as I can in case he plays some sort of thing to be able to block with. Oh, wow, planes, cool. Sammy Ship's Engineer. All right. Yeah, I think that's resignable. Okay, so I mean, we picked this one up because opponent, like, definitely dirtled a little bit. We've been stuck at the bottom of Platinum for... This is our third draft now, kind of up and down. Oh, well. That's how it goes sometimes. I mean, that's the variance of Magic. Like, we played a lot of drafts this season where, you know, we've got like 5-6 wins, and then we've played a couple of these that have just not had that much in terms of win rate. I'm going to take like a little quick break here, and I will be right back. Just going to get some water and rest my brain a little bit. Man, these have been just wild. I mean, that's the crazy thing about these aggro decks. I like really didn't think we were going to win that one, but we drew enough removal, I guess, to just keep pressuring opponent's life total. And that's, I mean, that's the name of the game with these Orzhov decks. All right, I will be right back. And welcome back. Yeah, just taking like a brief look at the deck here just to try to see like where things are and just a bit of a refresher. The Weftblade Enhancer we haven't seen yet. Servandum is not something we have been able to play out yet, and arguably one of the strongest cards in the deck. Also, Zoo Ifit is something we haven't been able to play out yet. We have seen him in one hand, but the double black made him like a little bit awkward to try to play. So, yeah, I don't know. It's definitely, it's weird that we're getting a lot of like our high-end cards in our opening hand because we don't have that many of them. It is like a very low curve deck, but we have definitely been seeing like a lot of high-end cards. I mean, I'm definitely glad we were able to mulligan that last hand. The one before, having to double mulligan, was just absolutely nuts. I don't know. I mean, this might be a very quick stream today. We will see. Sometimes it goes like that, though. That's just Magic. Okay, so we are on the draw here with not what I would call, again, a great hand. Like, again, very high-end stuff, totally useless things for early game. Don't know where in the name of God all my 2-drops are. Like, I do have a lot of 2-drops. I really can't play anything here. I have to mulligan this again. This is just, it's too awkward to keep. This is better. For sure, this is better. I'll probably just dump the Breacher, even though I'd kind of actually like to keep it in this situation. But I think holding on to 3 lands is probably the way to go. And I would like to keep both the Pulsar Squadron Ace and the Dockworker Drone. I wouldn't say this is an aggressive hand by any means. And of course, drawing into another land. Classic. If I had put back a land, I would not have drawn. Okay. So opponent's a little dirtily here. That's okay, but they're getting their lands. Looks like opponent's on Orzhov just like us. Oh, wow. Rust Harvester. Okay, so he did splash a Rust Harvester. Good for him. Another land. Put that down. There we go with the Rust. Oh, a modifier. Wow. Okay. Can't play that Zoofit. Unfortunately. Get this out. There's Servandum again. I think this is going to be... Like, opponent's already kind of ahead of us here. So this is going to be awkward. Yeah. The Hiller Blade. Get in for 6. Can't block that. Yeah, Dockworker Drone with Zoofit is kind of a non-bow anyway. So that's also kind of awkward. And this creature dies, unfortunately. So that's also a bit of an ombo. Okay. I'm just going to keep trying to get in here. I mean, it would be really nice if we could remove that modifier. Opponent's got a lot of plays here, though. Yeah, Starfield Shepherd's a good play. Wow. Cavron Harrier. Another good play. No, I think I'm just gonna take that. Honestly, I'm kind of at the point of, like, does it really matter? Last game. Yeah, I think I'm just, like, really frustrated with Edge of Eternities. I think that's what it boils down to. Like, I feel like I'm just really done with this this set. Yeah. I'm just kind of done with this set in general. I'm so disgusted with, like, drafts have been brutal, like absolutely brutal. It's so hard to draft into any sort of decent deck. Whereas, like, with Final Fantasy and with Dragonstorm, it was really easy to put together good decks. Like, you'd almost always open a good rare. I find that Edge of Eternities doesn't, like, there's not that many good, like, really, really good rares. And even if you get a good rare, it can be really hard to build a deck around it. Like, you can get a rare and then end up, like, I mean, if we look at this, like, we've got Servandum. We're missing so much important stuff here. And that important stuff is just at common and uncommon. And I don't feel like we are in a situation where we didn't find the open lane. Like, I think maybe blue, like Dimir might have probably been better, but that was hard to tell. And I think, like, reading signals in Edge of Eternities has been almost impossible because there are so many terrible commons and uncommons that by the time you get halfway through a pack, there's nothing left to even read. You just end up, like, getting past half a pack where it's all junk. And, like, how do you figure out what the signal is there? But yeah, this is another, like, the last 3 games we've had, like, this kind of just brutal 2 and 3. And I don't know. It's hard. Really, really hard. What is this? Weekly announcements. Okay. Let's try one more. Let's get one more started because, I mean, there's still 50 minutes left to this stream, and I don't think that there's anything else that we can really do. So we're going to try starting another draft and, I mean, potentially get completely blown out here as well. Well, I don't know. Again, like Edge of Eternities, my experience has been like I try to draft aggro, I get blown out by 5-color mess. I try to draft like a third color, I never see those cards. Mulligan, 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 mulligan. Unplayable hands. I draft like a lot of 2 and 3 drops. I end up with nothing but 5 and 6 drops in my sorry, just had to remove a bot from the channel. End up with, you know, like absolutely crazy like high end stuff in my opening hand, stuff that just can't be played. And yeah, I mean, that's just, in my experience, how it's gone. It's been really, really hard to draft any sort of consistent deck. And I think at this point, like, I'm just really looking forward to the next set because I just don't know what to do with Edge of Eternities anymore. It feels like at no point did I ever kind of solve this. Like, as I got through the last couple of sets, I just got better and better. I feel like with Edge of Eternities, I'm just getting worse and worse. Yeah, and here's another example. Like, Entropic Battlecruiser is not something I would first pick. It's not a good card. Like, there was a draft last week where I got beaten in 2 different games by it, which was shocking. But, like, you know, it's not good. And it's not something I'm going to first pick, that's for sure. Especially with no other black cards here to support it. However, there is some good red stuff here, and like I think I might just take a Diplomatic Relations and see about like maybe red-green. That's probably like, again, to first pick a common is not setting us up in a particularly great state, but I'm not taking a first pick Entropic Battlecruiser. Absolutely not. Yeah, I mean, the other options, Cut Propulsion, Hymn of the Faller, like we didn't see a Hymn of the Faller at all in that last draft. There must have been a ton of people in black, I guess, but I don't know. Okay, a Geomorph Imago is a very good card, and because we're already in green, I could see taking that. I'm not taking Void Altar, but Geomorph Imago definitely. Very, very good card. And again, some good green here. The Blooming Stinger would be okay. Blue, I mean, the Scan Ship's okay. Let's try that. Tractor Beam now and a Close Encounter. Wow, okay. I'm going to take the Tractor Beam because that card is absolutely crazy. And we already do have 1 removal. I mean, Tractor Beam is removal too. And if you can play that on something that has like a permanent effect on it, you're absolutely laughing. Scour for Scrap. Maybe Germinating Worm. Probably not the Light Jammer. Don't know that, like, currently we don't have any artifacts, so not, you know, necessarily the greatest. Man, red, I mean, it seems kind of open here. An Embrace Oblivion 4th pick. Is black going to be open this draft? I guess that's the question. But yeah, let's take a Germinating Worm, which is quite a good card. Yeah, this deck is already looking to be like a little bit more mid-rangey. Echoing Deeps. Here, like Divert Disaster, the Gale Blade can be okay. I'm taking the Zookeeper Mechan, I think, because like red really feels open. And in a green-blue deck, we can potentially splash for red anyway. And nothing beats that Zookeeper Mechan. That is by far the best card in the pack. So, you know, we'll see how red ends up. I definitely don't want to be like a couple of drafts ago where I got to pack 3 and I was past 2 Nova Hellkites. 1 was on pick 7. It's just like red was so open and there was no indicator of it before pack 3. But by pack 3, red was just solidly open. Yeah, Geomorph Imago would be a lot of fun to play. Here, the Mechan Navigator is a great card. Sky Stinger can be okay. I think I'm just going to take the Mechan Navigator. That's quite all right. Yeah, if we don't end up playing Zookeeper Mechan, I'm not going to be heartbroken. But man, if we could get like a Wayfarer or something to get a lander token, I think that would be very exciting. But now that I'm playing mid-range, I will probably get like blown out on turn 4 by aggro decks. Broodguard Elite here is okay. Starbreach Whale. There's a Wormwall Sweeper, which is nice. Let's see here. I don't know. I think, like, I'm really fond of the Starbreach Whale. I love that card. And it helps smooth out your draws. I know, like, not everybody is necessarily as cool with it as I am. Broodguard Elite is something that people kind of take or leave as well, but I like that card too. I'm going to take the Whale. Mirror Pool, Terrain Generator. The Shield Mate is probably like a nice early, or a Cav Landseeker maybe. Again, we're definitely going to have to try to grab up something, something like for lander tokens early on. Yeah, black feels like it must be really open here with an Embrace Oblivion this late. That's just bizarre. And yeah, him still. Okay. Cloud Sculpt Technician is not something I really want to take. The Pangolin, also not necessarily something I want to take. I mean, these cards are not good. Like, Hymn of the Faller is probably the best one. And, I mean, at least an Orplay Pangolin's like a 2-drop, which is okay. I'll probably take the Drix Fate Maker here, because I can play it on 2. Memorial Team Leader is okay, but I don't know. I feel like green is more like where I want to be. Another one and a Molecular Modifier. Then I think I'll take the Modifier here rather than take another Fate Maker. Probably not going to play the Sky Warden, but we'll see. Okay. Echoing Deeps. All right, Memnon's not really what we want to see. Blinkmoth Nexus can be okay, though. Is there anything better here for us? There's another Zookeeper Mechan, which I think is probably what I want to grab. That could be very good. Yeah, again, like, I would really like something that generates some lander tokens. Like, where is the fixing in this set? But yeah, I don't want to take the Memnon. And the same with the Meditation. Not really something I want to play. I'll craft ship here now. Mechanozoa, another Zookeeper Mechan. I don't know. Maybe the Mechanozoa. Don't know that I want to take another Zookeeper Mechan necessarily. There's literally nothing green in this pack. Don't see scrap bots at all anymore. Scrap bots get picked so quickly. Again, just because it is some sort of fixing. Sea Chip Impact is good. I think that might be what I want to pick here. And there's been no multi-lands coming around. There was tons in the last draft, but nothing here. Cav Landseeker, Blooming Stinger, Pinnacle Killship, Tapestry Warden. Oh, the Tapestry Warden is particularly useful. The Ilvoy Infiltrator is probably not for this deck. Maybe a Blooming Stinger just to act as a nice defender. And again, just hold up my low end. I mean, there's also Divert Disaster. The Emissary Escort, not what I want to be playing. It's an okay wall, but I think the Blooming Stinger is a little bit better because it can also be aggressive. Okay, maneuvers, Orbital Plunge, Biosynthetic Burst. Probably take the Plunge here because it does create a lander token, even though it's turn 4. If I can get some early plays in red, then especially with some Zookeeper Mechans, then I can potentially get a lander token fairly early on. I think that's what I want to grab here. Wow, there's a Night Captain, which would have been great last draft. but we did not see that. No. Cryo Shatter? Yeah, Cryo Shatter I think is better probably than the Biosynthetic Burst. Oh, wow. Virus Beetle, again, something we didn't see. Like, you know, I think, again, we're in the wrong colors here. I think we would have been probably better off in black here. Yeah, probably don't want the Saw Ship. I'm not even sure that I want 4-drop, really, but yeah, there's not a lot here, unfortunately. Probably take the Turbo Drone here, I think. Seam Rip? What is this, pick 8? Wrong colors again. Okay, well, I'm going to rear draft this. It is not good, but... And I'll take the Meditation as well for the gems. What a bizarre day. Like, the last 2 days of drafting have just been utterly bizarre. That's Magic. You know, you gotta roll with bunches. We'll see what pack 3 delivers to us. Maybe it's something... Yeah, I don't think I'm going to play the Annul, but the Fungal Colossus, maybe. I have like 3 lands. Yeah, I think that's okay. Nanoform Sentinel is probably the pick here. Zealous Display. Wow. Okay. Uthros. That's not playable. Blast Zone, probably not. Operative, no. Once again, nothing for making lander tokens. Like maybe the Moxite. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably... I'm going to guess that's probably the best thing here. Hive Pool. Okay. I mean, I'll take that. There's also a Might. But I think I've got to take the Hive Pool. It's got a lot of upside to it. Again, it would have been a lot better in our previous deck, but I don't think we really got to 6 mana a whole lot in our previous deck anyway. The Might would probably have been good if I had like more ways to put counters on things. If I'd taken the Broodguard Elite, that would have probably been better. Yeah, let's take the Hive Pool. I mean, we're looking at a fairly rampy deck. Wow, there's an Eldrazi Temple here. Yeah, I feel like blue and green are maybe just like 3rd pick Banishing Light, 3rd pick Virus Beetle, Expansionist, white-black. This was probably the draft to be white-black. But again, hard to tell. Is there anything I want to play here? Survey Mechan, maybe? This is a very top-heavy deck, though. Let's take the Survey Mechan, since we're going to have like 3 different colors of land. And we can't play the Diadrine. Man. Mental Modulation. Tenderfoot. Still nothing. So I'm just going to rear draft this. I figure I may as well grab some rears. Could use them. And we've got enough playables. We already have to start making some cuts. Corral of the Void. Black is so open. What is going on? What is going on? I'm not going to be able to play another Orbital Plunge, I don't think. Galactic Wayfarer. I'm grabbing that with both hands. Wow. Can't believe I got a Galactic Wayfarer in pack 3. Here, maybe the All Faith Scroll. Probably not. Get rid of that. Yeah, let's try the scroll, maybe. Broodguard Elite is not fantastic since we don't have any spacecraft. And I'm probably not going to play it anyway, because it is a little bit dirtily. Probably remove that as well. No clue what to take here. No, I'm not. I'm definitely not taking that, though. Let's do that. Plasma Volt. Nothing really that interesting here. Probably just put the Unravel in the sideboard. 17 creatures. Wow, that's nuts. Okay. Not the Remnant Elemental. Yeah, let's take the Annul, I guess. Take the Eldrazi Temple. And take the Scrapper. Not one single multi-land this whole draft. What did we get? Like 4 of them passed to us last game? That was, yeah. All right. So we've got to cut 4 cards here, and that's not going to be that easy, I feel like. I think I'm going to cut the Nanoform. How many artifacts do we have for the Pangolin? 10? Wow, okay. That's decent. Kind of unexpected, but decent. I'm going to cut the Annul because I don't think that's a good card. Let's see, so 2 cuts here. Like, we really just want to try to grind our opponents out here. This is going to be really challenging without a ton of fixing. We're going to need 7. Echoing Deeps. Yeah, not particularly useful, I don't think. That's only for Eldrazi. Diadrine would be a lot of fun. I really, really want to play that. And yeah, Memnon just overcosted, I think. Just, yeah, not enough artifacts in this deck to be able to make that worthwhile playing. Two more cuts. What is our crew here? 3.3. So it's still, it's not even that high, really. The So yeah, here I feel like we just want to turtle down a bit with this deck, and then maybe get to the point where we can, you know, beat our opponent that way. Pangolin Zookeepers. Okay, Turbodrone, Modifier, Relations. Okay, so we've got some good removal. So, I mean, this is more like a 4-drop, really. That can be played on 2. That can be played on 2. So I think we're okay for top end. Yeah, like a kill ship would have been really fantastic here. Definitely not. There's not much that I want to cut, as I do want my early drops. One more cut, and it might be the Ice Cave Crasher. That can be played on 3. Do we just want to cut the mech and navigator or something like that? I mean, the mech and navigator can help us move towards third type of land. Blue is our lowest number of creatures and stuff, though. Maybe the turbo drone. In fact, I would think actually this is probably better than the turbo drone in this sort of deck. I'm going to cut the mech and navigator. 588 665. Let's try it. All right. Again, no clue how this is going to play out, but that's just been Edge of Eternities for me. It's been like not really knowing like where decks are going to land, thinking the decks might be better than they are, and vice versa. But we'll see. I mean, I would have been happier, I think. Like, with the previous deck that we played, I would have been much happier to get 3 wins with that, rather than 2. Meowly Cyrus. Nice. Wow, okay. Yeah, I mean, we can play a couple of things. The Moxite can help us draw into a different type of land. So that's alright. Relic's a great turn 2 play. Draw a card. Yep, let's get a creature down. Hope we draw into another land. That is another land. Alright. Is that going to draw a depressurize from opponent? Here, I think I'm going to get rid of the plasma bolt. Because I can play some 4-drops. Alright, cool. We hit our land drop. Fantastic. Attack in. Delicacy? Yeah. If opponent wants to use a delicacy to get rid of Pangolin, I'm okay with that. Totally okay with that. Especially because, like, Cryogen Relic really could have dealt with that Pangolin for a couple of turns. Yeah, here I think maybe just play the Ice Cave Crasher. This opponent have a Divert Disaster. Yep. All right. Cool. Definitely, I think, better than getting the Survey Mechan countered. Self-Craft Mechan's a good play. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so here we... yeah, here I think we just Cryo Shatter this, play the Wayfarer. And next turn we can start ramping into some bigger stuff. I would like to get that Hive Pool down fairly soon. Ooh, Starforge. Wow, nice. Good play. So opponent has some sort of depressurize or counter or something. He's ahead of us on land. Why do you want to bet it's a depressurize? Okay. Scroll. Let's get a Zookeeper Mechan. There's a depressurize. Nice. Okay. Cool. Phone stepped out. And he's killing my Wayfarer, which is nice. Here, I'm just going to get down the high pool. Opponent's got a lot of cards, but I don't want to risk that getting countered. It could get tractor beamed. If it gets tractor beamed, then that's game. Okay, operative. And nutrient block. Yep. Man, opponent's got a lot of land. And a relic. Nice. Okay. Opponent's just got black up, so... Play the Survey Mechan. So we've got enough to crack the Survey Mechan next turn, which would be all right. Just don't know if I want to play the Germinating Worm here necessarily. I think here I am going to start like picking away at the opponent a little bit. Some damage. Yep, okay. Okay, opponent's gonna draw a card. I just don't want to risk like getting my Germinating Worm annihilated because I do want to use it as a blocker. Get some land. I mean, I think we can just hold up here. If opponent plays a sweeper, which is what I feel like he might have in hand, we can always just, you know, survey mechan. Okay, tap down a 1/1 token. It's all right. Okay, so maybe he doesn't have a sweeper. But we should just see what he's got. I mean, if he plays something that's, you know, 3 toughness, we can zod it with a survey mechan. I don't know. Code? All right. Yep, that's a decode. Yep, there we go. Singularity rupture. Nice. And I feel like Geomorph Imago is probably going to end this game. Three life. Okay. Here, I guess we just kind of hold up again. Because we can always use that All Faith scroll too. Diplomatic Relations is an instant. I'm just going to intern. I mean, there's no... there's no point to playing to Zord here. To pressurize is okay. Yep. Nothing we can do about that. And if he's at the point where he's killing one thing, I mean, we've got a ton of creatures getting in next turn. Okay, can he remove the Hive Pool is the question. Yeah, Hive Pool has definitely been a massive boon in this game. But yeah, we've got Tractor Beam next turn. If he plays something, we have Diplomatic Relations we can play before our turn to remove some blockers. It's... Okay, Cryo Shatter, sure. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, if he's at the point where he's playing spells like that on tokens, then that's a bit of a scramble for sure. Mechan, yeah, cool. Gonna remove his blocker. And that's game. Alright, I mean that basically brings us to the end of the stream. It's exciting to have, like, you know, kind of a fun deck, but we only get one game with it. Unfortunately, that Orzhov deck that we drafted earlier on in today's stream just didn't really get there. It seemed like an okay deck, and again, in another format probably would have been okay, but a little challenging, I think, in Edge of Eternities. So we've got one win here. Let's take a quick look at the deck. It's odd, and I feel like there are probably going to be a lot of games where we end up with unplayable hands. That one was quite good. G-Morph Imago is just absolutely nuts. I mean, that is one of the highest win rate cards in the format. And the fact that, you know, we got in for 12 damage in one hit with that because of that double striking sliver, that was, yeah, absolutely tide turning. There are a lot of cards in this format, I feel, that turn the tide from a win into a loss, vice versa. It's you know, kind of awkward. But yeah, we've got the Thrumming Hivepool and the Gene-Morph Imago, which work quite well together. And, I mean, even Survey Mechan, All Faith Scroll to draw stuff. It would have been nice if we could have managed to pick up like a Cryogen Relic or a Codecracker Hound, but you just don't see those anymore. If you're in a pod with people who know what they're doing when it comes to drafting, you just do not get cards in this format. And I think that is the real trouble with Edge of Eternities. The fact that so many cards in this set just absolutely stink and are completely unplayable, that all the good stuff gets snapped up really quick. Like even Stellar Sights, like Eldrazi Temple, insane card. Completely useless within Edge of Eternities, though. Edge of Eternities feels like it was a transitional set where they were just trying to like pad out standard, and the biggest considerations are probably going towards, you know, making cards for other formats like standard, historic, timeless, whatever. But like it was great that Eldrazi Temple came back. Kind of cool to see Strip Mine again. A lot of interesting things that just do not work at all within the format of Edge of Eternities. Like even, you know, Echoing Deeps, you could probably get that to work if you had like an Ice Till Explorer, maybe. And then is it worth it? Like, is it even worth playing it at that point? Does it really matter? You know, again, junk. Memnon, seemingly okay card that I don't think is really very good at all. It feels like it's a lot better because it feels like Urza High Artificer, but it's not. Like, it's not even close to Urza High Artificer. It's okay, but once again, in Edge of Eternities, it doesn't feel like a card that you can really get to work. And our first pick one, pack one here in this, in today's draft was Entropic Battlecruiser, which I feel like that is just a trap. And to be fair, like last week, I lost 2 completely different games to it. But it is not good. Like it's not a good card. I mean, I have lost games to terrible cards in this format, but it doesn't make them good. And did the guy who beat me win one game out of that draft? Who knows? But I don't know. I'm completely at a loss for Edge of Eternities. And to be fair, I don't think I'm really going to be all that sad to see it go. There were a lot of great things about it. The setting, the storyline, the artwork, the characters, and even some of the mechanics and stuff were neat, but I don't feel like Arena particularly implemented those well. Like the Void mechanic should probably just be an icon on the battlefield rather than something on your cards, which is how it's set up currently. It's set up as like a little icon on your card. But if you're not the player who's heavily playing Void, you might not know that Void's been triggered. That just seems awkward. Like Void is a board state, so it shouldn't be on the cards. It should be on the board. And Warp, the iconography for Warp is so mild that it's just hard to see. Like when you cast the card, when it goes away, it has this giant purple thing, and when it's in exile, it has a giant purple thing around it. Why doesn't it have that when it's played onto the board? Like the creature on the board should have that huge purple void cloud around it as well, but it doesn't. So I feel like Arena kind of dropped the ball a little bit on Edge of Eternities, maybe half implemented some things, but I don't know. It's been a weird set. It's been a really, really weird set. I thought stationing was going to be better than it was. I don't find stationing to be particularly good or effective at all. Maybe a couple of planets are playable in standard, but like that's about it. And anyway, like they all can't be winners. It's just hard, I think, coming off of 2 really, really good sets. And Dragonstorm and Final Fantasy were both really incredible sets, fun to draft. You could get halfway through a draft and still be drafting like amazing commons. There were so many great cards at Common. Town Greeter, Precious Wanderings, Fang and Vanille, like some of the uncommons, incredible as well. Travel the Overworld was just a mental draft card, draw card in draft. And, you know, if you could pick up a ton of different towns, well, I mean, that helped your fixing, but like also some of these cards were like much, much better at that point. So yeah, I don't know. Final Fantasy, very exciting. I don't know that we're ever going to see it available for draft again on Edge of Eternity or on Arena, unfortunately, just because of the licensing. I have a feeling that like we will not be able to draft Final Fantasy again, and that's too bad. And next up, we have Spider-Man / Through the Omen Paths. And this is one of the smallest sets that they've done in years. What is there, like 180 cards in it or something like that? It's very, very tiny. There's only 5 draft archetypes, which is odd. Like, this one has what, 8 or 10 or something like that? Like, generally a set has 8 or 10 and over 300 cards. And this one has 180. Everything is spiders. Somebody posted a meme today that was like, summon spider, 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 spider. So we're going to see a lot of spiders. I guess Spider Tribal is probably going to be thing in standard at some point. We'll see how it pans out. I got to say, I'm not that excited for it. I don't know. Like, maybe I'm in the minority because, like, I don't play as much paper as I play on Arena. And Through the Omen Paths, yeah, it's a mix and match of, like, all the different worlds that we've seen. Like, there's going to be some cards that are Edge of Eternities flavored. There's going to be some cards that are like Thunder Junction flavored, just like all over the place, Bloomburrow stuff from the different worlds. And I mean, I think that's how they're planning to handle the stuff that they cannot license for digital in the future as well. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's all we can do is play the game, have as much fun as we can, and go from there. And that's what I plan on doing. I'm going to see how Through the Omen Paths pans out, and have a bit of fun along the way. I really do wish I had been able to draft a few more interesting cards. Like, again, I really want to play Diadrine. I've not been able to play it in a draft. This one, we got them pack 3 when there was just nothing left for us to draft. And the same with, you know, Moonlit Meditation and with Memnon. Like, this was all stuff that we couldn't, you know, Eldrazi Temple, I think, was like the last card left in the pack, because it's utterly unplayable. Even if you were to get like the one Eldrazi in the set, the Anti-Causal Vestige, you're not going to play an Eldrazi Temple to play that. Even if you drafted 4 of them, I don't think you'd play an Eldrazi Temple. I don't know how that works with Warp either. Cast colorless Eldrazi spells. I don't know. There is like one colorless Eldrazi spell in this set, and I think it actually came up in our draft as well. But again, like, you're not going to play those together. All right. If you do like what I do, please consider liking and subscribing. It all helps out the channel. And we do on YouTube have tons of videos about the history of Magic and more all the time. So if you like that sort of thing, history of Magic, some strategy stuff, please consider following what we do. And we are hoping to get to like 100 subscribers by the end of the year. That would be very exciting. We're at, I think, 58 or something now. So, and we've got a long way to go till the end of the year. So we might be setting our sights a little low, but that's okay. I figure under promise and over deliver. That's the Mint Alpha Lotus way. All right. Until next time, which is maybe going to be Wednesday. Like, this week and last week have been very stressful. There's been a lot going on in my life. Ton of family visiting, things like that. So I haven't been able to keep as strict a schedule as I would have liked. But we will try our best on Wednesday to get in for draft. If not, I might bump it to Thursday or something like that. We'll see. Wednesday is going to be tight. Heading to the airport to pick some people up. But that's life. All right. Really appreciate everybody tuning in today. I hope you all had a good time. And until Wednesday or maybe Thursday, this has been Mint Alpha Lotus. Keep it mint, everybody.